Welcome back to JPMorganChase News. This week, we're focusing on tips for investing, whether you're just getting started or have been investing for years. To tell us how to improve your investment journey and what tools are useful, we're joined by the head of JP Morgan Self-Directed Investing, Andrea Finan. Welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
Andrea, let's start with people who are new to investing. What are some things they should consider as they get started?
When you get started, you want to think about getting started now, right? Don't wait and understand that creating habits is really important. So when you're thinking about what's valuable, start to think about how much you can afford. Getting started early and taking advantage of the power of compounding is really important. I think another big piece is actually being curious. So thinking about where is the destination that I can become a better investor? I can learn, I can read articles, or I can access things that make me comfortable. I think another thing to really think about is considering diversification. So there's many securities that have that embedded within it. And so ETFs and mutual funds are a way for people to get started when they know the dollar amount they want to put to work, but not really the security. It's something to consider.
Switching now to people who have been investing for years, how can they stay informed and make investing decisions that are right for them?
Thinking about how you invest and your style. So going back to, again, knowing who you are and what your objectives are and aligning your investment strategy to that. So let's think about an example of when you pick securities, you think about different criteria. JP Morgan at Self-Directed Investing has screeners that can allow you to do that. You can pick different criteria that are important to you, and then it leads you to the path of what securities might be relevant. I think another thing is keeping track of performance. So understanding what you're investing in and how it's doing, and maybe any tweaks that you need to make to that.
What should investors keep in mind when navigating market volatility and economic uncertainty?
Yeah, it's a pretty common question, right? Of what should I do when markets are volatile? The fact is, markets are volatile. And so staying the course, thinking about the long term, and staying invested really is a strategy that's very successful. I think you also need to evaluate your capability. So sometimes people do need an advisor, and sometimes they do want to do it on their own. Many clients actually do both together, and just being comfortable with your needs and your wants and really staying invested in the market during volatile times is important.
And how does JP Morgan help clients invest on their own?
When you think about yourself and you're thinking about logging into the mobile app or chase.com, you can see everything all in one place. You may be paying a bill, you may be checking a mortgage, and investing can be right there. So, back to where we started in terms of setting goals and thinking about your overall plan, you can do it all in one place. And so, for any dollar amount that you have ready to invest, self directed investing has built fractional shares, which is a great example of how you can put your money to work in thousands of securities for the dollar amount. So it's how you think about trading, not necessarily pulling out a calculator and figuring out how much you can afford of that stock, but really putting it on your terms. And so I think the power of JP Morgan is really all in one place and solving those needs, tying together your investment objectives with the ability to do so.
Andrea Finan, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.